speaking of things we will see, tonight is Game 4 between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Detroit Pistons. It is on NBC and WKYC from 7 to 8 tonight. There is a full hour pregame show on WKYC called Chasing a Championship. Make sure you guys tune in. We will be part of it, by the way. We're going to tape a segment that will air during WKYC's preview of tonight's game. We talked about it in 2 topics in the first hour. We're going to combine our last 2 topics into this because Kirk Herbstreit's now going to join us at 11:30. But, guys, we'll start with this part of it. Donovan and James both had their best game of the series in Game 3 at home. James kind of took a backseat early and then closed the game late. Donovan got off to a scorching hot start. Looked like the All-NBA Donovan Mitchell we had seen throughout the course of the regular season. Is what those 2 guys did in Game 3 the requisite level the Cavs need in order to beat Detroit? Or is there a level that they can even get to that's higher than what we saw from their all-star, star-studded backcourt in Game 3 tonight in Game 4? G, what say you?
I think when you look at it and you take a look at Donovan Mitchell and you take a look at James Harden, I think this is the first game where people started to look around and say, okay, this is the Donovan we're looking for. This was the Donovan we need to have, 13 to 24. I like the efficiency and I like the aggressiveness. The thing that I look for from Donovan Mitchell is I need him to get to the basket. For some
That's
reason,
been tough for him.
For some reason, he's not been able to get past guys, and him and James Harden have not been able to blow by guys and get all the way to the rim. James has shot a lot of floaters. Donovan Mitchell, his patented crossover and carryover step, he's starting to execute that at the 3-point line. I'm like, dang, man. You see plays like that where he get all the way to the rim, and I think when you make a conscious effort to get to the rim early, what it does, it opens up the lane so that in the second half, you can get those calls. Because the referees are seeing that I'm being aggressive early. I'm not just settling for step backs. I'm not settling for floaters. I'm getting to the rack. And I think that opens up your jumper and that opens up the swing and kick later on in the game. So for me, I like to see Donovan Mitchell continue to be aggressive. And I said it over in the YouTube show or over on WKYC app. They need to come out here and get after it quick. They should let it be known. Guys, this is the game where we're going to get you up out of here. Because all the rest of the games have been close. If the Cavs can come out here and get on and step on their neck early and put them down early and finish this game off, now you put doubt in the minds of the young guys. Cade Cunningham is going to be Cade Cunningham. JB going to be JB. He's still going to be he be screaming for calls. JB be mad at him when he get calls. How you mad when you got calls?
What took you so long to blow the whistle?
He'd be like, that's unacceptable. He'd be just sitting there. I'm like, JB, he gave you the call, dog.
You know what, though? I get PTSD watching it because I'm like, oh, my God, he hasn't changed a bit. He was the same way when he was here.
He puts a saddle on the officials and rides them from jump to buzzer.
All they need, Jason, is one. If it make you hesitate or you got to give us one call at the end, I'll take it. It was worth it. But I think if they jump on them quick in this game, I think it puts them it actually puts Detroit on their heels a bit.
Yeah, I mean, the way that Donovan and James played the other day is how they have to play to be successful. And after Game 2, after James was a wreck in Game 2, I wrote that they've got to go back to Donovan and they got to go back to the best quarter that they had in Detroit was the third quarter of Game 2 when Donovan and Schroeder are the ones that really sort of drove the offense. He scored 32 points and they sort of look like the Cavs of old. And I'm a little surprised at how much they rely on Harden. And just in general, like I thought that this would still be sort of Don's show, and the way that James continues to play with the ball in his hands every possession, or nearly every possession, it feels like, is a little bit surprising. But if he continues to play the way he did at the end of Game 3, they'll be okay. I don't know. I still like Cavs in 7 to win this, I think, but there's definitely parts where they've struggled with things that I didn't think they would struggle as much in this series, particularly with the turnovers. I didn't think that they would struggle as much as they have with turning the ball over. And so those are the things that they got to get cleaned up.
Real quick on the Harden usage late down the stretch where he went ISO 3 straight possessions. Afterwards, he, Kenny, and Donovan all talked about it. They basically said going into those last 3 possessions, whoever Asar Thompson was guarding was going to go to the corner and get out the way. And they were going to let the other one who had the advantageous matchup be the guy who went one-on-one. Thompson was on Donovan those last 3 possessions.
Okay,
they gave the ball to Harden. Harden delivered 3 straight buckets.
That makes much more sense now because I was actually wondering, like, what are we doing? Because like you, Jay, I thought after game 2, we were having the conversation upstairs. Does Kenny have the courage to tell James this isn't the James Harden show? Like, it was maddening in games 1 and 2. The isolation, the trying to back guys down, and it clearly wasn't working. And I wondered, does Kenny have the courage to have that conversation where he says, "Look, this can't be the James Harden show. It just can't be."
But it seems like I feel like Kenny has leaned into the James Harden show.
I feel like he wasn't 1 and 2.
I feel like he's talked to him, and they did a good job of saying that Kenny, speaks to James before he even spoke to the team and said, "Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about these reads? What do you think about the game plan? What do you think about what we should be running?" And it seems as if, like, even in crunch time there, when the Cavs needed a basket, James Harden still had the basket.
Well, now it makes more sense. Mike, I didn't know that.
They all, Donovan, James, Kenny all said.
We're all on the same page.
Kenny didn't say it directly. We asked Donovan, like, "Hey,
are you okay with what happened?"
And Don told us, "Hey, in the huddle leading into it, we had the play redesigned. And it was either going to be for me or for James, depending on who Asar Thompson was guarding."
But that was going to determine who
exactly.
Ultimately.
They wanted to get Asar. Now, I don't have the final numbers. I had this as of midway through the 4th quarter. In Game 3 in particular, the Cavs' offensive rating when Asar Thompson was on the floor. So when he's playing, and Asar finished 3rd in Defensive Player of the Year voting.
Yeah, he's good.
He is, in my opinion, he's the best perimeter defender in all of the NBA right now. If not, he's one of the 2 or 3 best, unquestionably. They had an offensive rating about 109 when he was on the floor, which is below average, but it's just average.
Yeah.
It's not terrible, but it's not where you want. Their offensive rating when he was on the bench was 148, which is 15, 16 points better than the best ever.
So if you're looking for that secret weapon of that, like, because everybody looks at their roster and says, "How are they doing this?" That's a really big indicator of how they're doing it.
They made the run in Game 2 when James went out. You know who else went out when James went out?
Thompson.
Asar Thompson. He was on the bench as the Cavs made their run. They got their big lead when Thompson, he was in early, but then he picked up his second foul quick, went to the bench. Cavs went on a bit of a run, extended their lead. He brings almost nothing offensively. He is not a shooter whatsoever.
Yeah.
But he is that good and that impactful
But,
defensively.
What are the playoffs about? Getting stops when you need to get stops. And with a guy like that, and so it's brilliant for Kenny to say, "Look, carry his ass down the runway. Take him to the locker room. Get him out of the play. And whoever he follows, wherever he goes, the other guy's going to have to lead."
And ironically, at the end of Game 2, the James Harden turnover where he couldn't get past Tobias Harris. G. Bush, if you go back and think of that play, Asar was on Donovan, but Donovan was in the same side corner as James tried driving, and Donovan actually started to shuffle up and brought Asar right into the mix. I'm not excusing James. You cannot turn that ball over there. You have to get past Tobias Harris. But you could see as Asar steps up, Harden's head real quick little look to the left, and then he loses the ball off his foot right after. You want Asar in those must-score situations as far away as humanly possible.
Okay, good.
The Cavs were able to execute it late in Game 3.
We were able to ISO him and get him out of the play in Game 3. Like, what will the answer be in Game 4? We'll
watch.
I agree with you guys, obviously. Your role players, and I hate even saying role players because it minimizes Mobley and Allen. But for the sake of this conversation, they are the role players. And the leading actors are Harden and Donovan, and they've got to be themselves. Otherwise, one of the role players has to do what Jarrett Allen did in Game 7. Somebody else has to step up in a major way to fill that void if either Mitchell is having a bad game or James is having a bad game. Somebody has to bring it. I just hope, like you, G, my hope for tonight is that we can have one game where we can say, like many of the Knicks games, they were like with 5 minutes to go, nobody was calling timeouts, and the bench players were in. It was
third quarter,
out of reach, and it'd be nice to get one of those because you're going to need a little something extra to get that road win. And if I'm Kenny, and the beauty of this is you can always double down if it doesn't work out. But I'm playing Game 5 like it's Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
You want to win Game 5.
Yeah.
And then if you don't, you still have another swing at it. But I don't want them to go in there and say, hey, we got Game 7, we're cool if we don't get it tonight. No, nonsense. I'm telling the guys before the game, guys, it's 3-3. This is it. We lose and we're packing our bags. Let's go out there. Let's get that win. Let's go back to Cleveland and finish this thing off. So I would be putting all of my eggs in the Game 5 basket to see how that goes.
Got to win tonight first before Game 5. Got to win tonight.
I know.
Got to win tonight.
We absolutely have to win tonight.
Real quick, let's make our predictions because we have to combine 2 Cavs topics. Do the Cavs win tonight?
I'm going Cavs, yeah.
G?
Yeah, I'm not going.
I mean, you and I had 7.
Yeah, I'm not going. If I was to say no, I mean, that means they're going to lose the series. If you lose tonight,
if they lose tonight and go 3-1,
they're not winning.
LeBron ain't walking in that door for Game 5 in Detroit.
He's not going to Detroit. They're going to play, and they're going to play in Bolton. They're going to play. Oh, at that point, when you go down 3-1, do you know what type of performance you're going to need? You're going to need
Herculean.
You need a Magic or a Bird, or no disrespect to the people we got there.
I know we
Magics
have
or Birds.
I know we have to go to break. I just want to say one thing real quickly.
Shoot.
The NBA has absolutely destroyed watching playoff basketball. When ESPN carries Game 5, it will be the 4th different broadcast team on one series playoff games. The reason that matters is because if all the games are on ESPN or NBC, these guys know intimately.
You build familiarity,
and you have to know of situations that happened in games 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if Game 5, it's going to be the ESPN crew, it'll be the 4th different crew in 5 games that have done the Cavs Pistons series.
Man, I can't.
It's insane.
I'd be missing Van Gundy and Mark Jackson. I'd be missing them.
The good old days.
I'd
All
be
right,
missing them.
we're
Money
breaking.
talk.